under the radar, overlooked, neglected. These are all terms we might use to describe the ball watch company. But the question is, do they deserve that neglect? Is it justified? I don't think so. I believe they deserve a lot more attention and a lot more respect than they receive. And the watch that we're going to be reviewing today, I think, will help prove that point. We're going to do a full review of the Ball Roadmaster Vanguard in today's video. Let's get right to it. Well, here it is, the Ball Roadmaster Vanguard. This is the model number DG3036B-S1C-BE. And as you can tell, this model is the blue dial and the black bezel version. There are some other variations as well. We're going to jump right in to the specs and features of this beautiful watch. The movement that is used is the Ball RR1303-C. We're going to talk more details about the movement in a little bit. The crystal, of course, is an AR-coated sapphire crystal, and the open case back also is sapphire crystal as well. The case material is titanium for the case itself, and I was told by someone from Ball who I was communicating with that the pushers are stainless steel and the crown is stainless steel and the bezel is stainless steel as well, but the case and the screw down case back are titanium. The case diameter here is 40 millimeters, but with the bezel you're looking at 41.5. Case thickness is 14.2, and there is a slight dome to that sapphire crystal. The lug to lug distance is 47.5 millimeters, and really, if you measure where the bracelet actually folds down to the farthest point that sticks out here, which would be these center links, I measured that distance to be 57 millimeters at the farthest point, so just keep that in mind. The lug width here is 20 millimeters, and the band material is a mixture of titanium and stainless steel. So some of the components are titanium, some are stainless steel. We'll talk about which components those are as we go on in the video. The water resistance here on this watch is 200 meters, and the weight, as I weighed it with a few links taken out so the watch can fit my wrist, I weighed it at 146 grams. So those are the specs and features. I want to talk about this movement a little bit because if you go on Ball's website and look at their list of movements, you're not going to see the RR1303-C mentioned on their website. So I emailed Ball Watch Company, and a nice lady there got back to me with some of my questions that I wanted answers to about the movement and different other aspects of this watch as well. So the movement, as you can see written on this watch in red there, you can't see it too clearly because it's covered by that hand, but it says Chronometer. So this is a COSC certified chronometer, and I had to look that up to see exactly what a chronometer was, and so I found this on crownandcaliber.com's website that I wanted to share with you. It says this about a chronometer: if a watch is referred to as a chronometer, it has passed intense precision tests over a 15-day period and has obtained an official rate certificate from the COSC, which is the official Swiss Chronometer Testing Institute. These tests measure the movement of the watch towards a set of accuracy. In order to receive this certification, the watch must remain within a +6 and -4 seconds per day. If a watch is referred to as a chronometer, it is a superior timekeeper and is very accurate. So all watches do not have the chronometer designation. If they do, usually it's written on the dial, and many luxury brands post that on their watches, and so this is a super accurate watch. The movement is based on the ETA 2836 with some in-house modifications. This is a 28,800 VBH movement. It is hacking, it is hand winding. There are 26 joules as is inscribed on the rotor there, but in talking with the lady from Ball about the movement, she told me it was a 25 joule movement, but the rotor says 26. So I'm going to go with what the rotor says, and she said she'll get back to me on that. And if it's 25, then they've made a big mistake, but I don't think they have. And the power reserve here is 38 hours. Yeah, I think that's all about the movement. Seems like a very robust movement, to say the least. Let's talk about the design and durability of this watch. The case, again, is made out of titanium. The other components, the crown and pushers and the bezel, are made out of 316L stainless steel. The finish on this watch is mostly like a brushed satin finish. Of course, you can see on the pushers here there's some polishing. There's some polishing underneath the bezel in that portion, but mostly a brushed watch with a few places that are polished. The crown itself, I think, is gorgeous. It's beautifully signed with the RR Railroad, and it's very easy to manipulate and to use. Of course, it's a screw down crown, and if I unscrew it here, it pops out and you can wind it there. The first position, it changes the day and the date as you turn it there. I just pushed it in. There we go. And then the last position hacks the movement, and you're able to adjust the time. So the crown works like any typical crown, and I found it easy to use. As you can see, there's no crown guards here on this watch, but I think it fits the design really well. Of course, something unique about this watch, and actually patented by the Ball Watch Company, are these quick set buttons that are included here on this watch. This is a dual time watch. That red hand can keep track of a second time zone. And so these quick set buttons allow you to move that hand forward and backward. Now, they can lock in place, which is a really good thing. You don't have to worry about bumping them and changing that hand. So that locking is a good feature. So you just turn it once to unlock it, and then you can push those buttons, and you can see it's moving it forward there. And the day-night indicator will change as you move that around the watch. And then you can just twist it back to lock it in place. And of course, if you wanted to go back, you'd twist the other one. If I can get it with these gloves. There we go. I think. I don't know if I keep twisting it too far. I think I got it now. So you can go back there as well and then lock them in place. Something that Ball mentioned in their paperwork is never push these two pushers at the same time. That would not be a good thing. The bezel is a really beautiful bezel, and the action is really great. It's a fully loomed bezel, so all the numbers and markings on the bezel are nicely loomed with super luminova. So we'll give you a loom shot of that in a little bit. The insert here is on the black version, at least, is stainless steel, and there are some small openings, cutouts, you might say, on the bezel, so there's no coinage or anything like that, but it's a unique design, and I've found that you can get a good purchase and a good grip to use the bezel as you need to, and that's all brushed on the outside, but as you turn it over, the top portions here around the edge are polished, as you can see. The dial is amazing, I think, on this watch. Some people have looked at it and said, oh, it's too busy, there's too much going on, but I mean, the first thing that I'm drawn to with this bezel is those large Arabic numbers all around the watch, and of course they're not your average, you know, indices, because they're made out of micro gas tubes. And so that's one unique thing about this watch, is that those gas tubes are there. It's not loomed, but they're filled with tritium, and so they shine just on their own, and they have a lifespan of around 25 years or so, according to Ball. And we'll try and get a picture of that as best we can to show you the tritium and the loom around the dial as well. And there's a chapter ring in there around the watch, and it's just a beautiful blue color, sunburst dial, and just an overall nice looking watch, in my opinion, in terms of the dial. You got the writing there, you got Ball official RR standard since 1891, chronometer 200 meters, 660 feet. Down below you got the Swiss made words there, and you have the day-night indicator that goes along with that second time zone hand. And speaking of the hands, you can see that that second one for the time zone is skeletonized, and so if you didn't want to keep track of a second time zone, you could just move it and put it behind the hour hand, and it will move along with that, and it's kind of just hidden there right behind it. So I think that's a good feature, and everything about this watch is just quality. I haven't found any flaws, anything that's off at all. And so the dial, I think, is just beautiful. Of course, you got a day-date window. Of course, it's covered right now, so you can't really see it. Let me see if I can move the hands out of the way to see the day and date window. So there's that. I think it's very legible, in my opinion. I haven't had a hard time reading it at all, the day and the date, and it functions like it should. I think that's all about the dial that I wanted to talk about. So let's take a quick loom shot of that loomed bezel and try and throw up a picture as well of those tritium tubes shining. Well, here you can get a shot of the loomed bezel, which comes in pretty nice. I didn't charge it up too much, but it is shining there, and you can faintly see the tritium gas tubes, but I'm going to throw in a better picture where they're coming in a lot brighter, and you can see that the 12, the 9, and the 6 are in yellow, which is different from the others, which are more of a green color. Well, let's talk about the bracelet on this Ball Roadmaster Vanguard. As we've already mentioned, it's a mixture of titanium and stainless steel, but if you were to look on Ball's website, there's no information as to which parts of the bracelet are stainless steel and which are titanium. So I had to reach out to the Ball Watch Company for that information, and they got back to me and told me that the titanium portions are the H links that you see, and also the end links, and the stainless steel portions are these center links that you see, and the clasp itself is also stainless steel. So that's good to know, and you can see that there's quite a taper here to this bracelet. Tapers down from about 25 millimeters here at the widest point of the actual bracelet, and it goes all the way down to 18 millimeters as I measured it down here. The clasp works well. It's very simple. There's a few micro adjusts there, and also there is this diver extension that you can pop out. Kind of seems a little pointless to me, in my opinion, to have that. I think we could do without it, but it is there. And I guess you could take this watch diving if you so chose to do so. There are screw-in pins for the links, and I've already taken out a few of those to size it to my wrist, but there those are, as you can see. But overall, the bracelet is really nice and definitely high quality for sure. As we close out this video, we're going to just talk about the price real quick before I share my final verdict about the Ball Roadmaster Vanguard. The price, if you go to Ball's website, is $2,999, so pretty much $3,000 we could say. And I think on pre-order it was cheaper than that, and that's how my friend purchased this watch. But who knows, it's a new watch, so maybe as some used ones get out on the market, of course you'll be able to find them for cheaper than that price. But right now, brand new from Ball, they're going for $3,000. I'm going to get back in front of the camera real quick and share my final verdict about this beautiful Ball Roadmaster Vanguard. I really like this watch. I think it's really unique with those quick set buttons. Of course, the micro gas tubes that are all over this watch. It seems to be a rugged and durable and tough watch. Of course, it's Swiss made, so there's a lot to love with that. And the quality and craftsmanship that you find on watches like this from Ball is on par with other Swiss brands that are way, way, way more expensive than you can buy this watch for at around $3,000. So you get a lot of bang for your buck with Ball watches like this Ball Roadmaster Vanguard. So I highly recommend it. Now, there are a lot of watches from Ball that are not appealing to me, but this one is for sure. Now, I think Ball is a company that you might say is the king of under the radar watches, and this watch is definitely one of those hidden gems. So I highly recommend it, and I'm just thankful again to my dentist friend for the opportunity. He loaned in this watch, so thanks again to you. And it's just really given me the opportunity to get a hold of a watch that is very, very similar to my Grail watch, the Ball Roadmaster Marine GMT. The case shape, those quick set buttons are all pretty much the same. The dimensions of this watch compared to that watch are pretty much the same. So it really gives me the opportunity to kind of know what my Grail watch feels like before I get it, if I ever get it. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to have some hands-on time with this Ball Roadmaster Vanguard. But I want to know what you think about this watch. Tell me what you think about the Ball watch company in general. Do you think they're underrated like I do? I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. But leave a like, leave your comments below, and I'll talk to you down there. Thanks again for tuning in to this review on J City Reviews, and we'll see you next time.